What's good, my people? Godfrey here again at Boxing Redeemed, and if you're new to this channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And today we're going to be discussing Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano 2 for all the belts, all the marbles, the WBC, the WBO, the WBA and the IBF and the Ring Magazine super welterweight titles. Huge dust up, and just want to say a big thank you firstly for PBC putting it up on YouTube, making it accessible for us UK fans. So I just want to give huge credit to you guys. But yeah, what a fight it was. I didn't actually get to watch the first fight that they had last year, I believe in July. I've seen the highlights, but there's not much to take away in the highlight. Because for obvious reasons, many platforms tend to side towards one fighter more, so it's really hard to take much from it. So please give your input on what the first fight was like. I know according to the boxing public, a lot had Castano winning, so a lot were leading towards Castano winning the first fight. Some had it a draw, but anyway, they had to do a rematch, which they have done last weekend, and it lived up to its hype. I was really shocked how they even started the fight the second time round. Before I'm going to discuss about the second fight, I think the first fight, they had the scorecards was rare that, so one judge had it 114, 113 for Castano. One had it 117, 111 for Jermell Charlo. That's wide, especially in a close fight. That needs to be looked into. And then another judge had it 114, 114 for the bout to call it a draw. So that was the first fight. So if you haven't gone ahead and watched the first fight, which I need to do as well, to be fair, you can go ahead and have a look and see what you guys think regarding the first time round. If you haven't watched Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano the second time round, PBC has made that accessible for us UK fans, so you can go on YouTube and watch that fight as well. But yeah, going into the second fight, it was massive. As I was about to say, the second time round, wow, it's like it was a continuation of the first fight. It's like they were already warmed up. Going into the first round, already throwing big power punches and landing flush on the chin as well. So the first couple of rounds was lively. But I do think Jermell Charlo were winning those rounds. I felt like he did more. And that's the best Jermell Charlo I've seen. Definitely. He was very disciplined and he boxed more. He was in and out. He was actually using his range. He was throwing many jabs, stiff jabs, and just wasn't allowing Castano to get into any sort of rhythm. Wasn't allowing him in the inside at all, and just keeping him at range. So yeah, that's definitely the best Jermell Charlo I've seen. I felt like he was very strong in the inside as well. When Castano came in, he would clinch up. And with Castano, I felt like he was very cautious at times, wasn't coming in, and when he did, he would throw a flurry of punches, but he would do so quite late in the rounds. So it's like almost he tried to steal the rounds, because for the last 20-25 seconds, he then tries to throw a flurry of punches, which can divert the judges' scorecards. So I felt like he would, still have a little bit of success in the early minutes of the couple of rounds. But then all of a sudden, he's just throwing volume of punches towards the end of the round. So I could see where some people may have had Castano winning that fight. But if you actually watch the fight over, Jermell Charlo was very good, very strong, and I actually had Jermell Charlo winning the fight probably by 2-3 rounds before heading into the 10th round where Jermell Charlo knocked him down. So I think he fought a very, very good fight. I felt like Castano could have definitely done more. I felt like he, you know, was a bit lethargic at times and just wasn't coming in as quickly as he should, and wasn't really working on, you know, taking Jermell Charlo's rhythm out of play. I felt like that did occur quite a bit in the first round. Just even watching the highlights, I know I mentioned there's not much you can take, but you can tell in the first fight, especially in the highlights, Jermell Charlo was on the ropes a lot. This time he wasn't. Jermell, to be fair, when he was on the ropes, he was fighting well, but he wasn't on the ropes for long. He would, you know, sometimes he felt like, okay, I'm going to fight on the ropes. He would just, you know, wait for him to come in and then throw the left hook. So I would see, and I would say as well, that Castano didn't have much success because I think he became too predictable. He almost wanted to just corner Jermell Charlo and just throw flurry of punches constantly. So that's all he was just one-dimensional, you know, just looking for that flurry of punches that he can land on Jermell Charlo. Every single time that occurred, Jermell just moves away, moves around, and then sits back and sits back on his jab again. So that's definitely the best I've seen him. He was calm, disciplined, defensively sound. Yeah, right now I think, you know, he's going to go enjoy and celebrate with his fam and his friends. I think right now, I don't know what's next for Jermell Charlo, really. I don't know what's next for him, because there's Erickson Lubin, there's the likes of Lara in his division, there's Tim Tszyu, you've got who else is in his division? I know Tim Tszyu is currently the WBO mandatory. You've got Fundora, I believe, 6'7" giant. He is 24-year-old, very good. He's a WBC mandatory for Jermell Charlo's belt, so he does have a few mandatories lined up. He does. Do I think they give him trouble? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? I don't know if you come across these fighters, but would you say those type of fighters give him trouble? I don't think they do. Personally, for me, I don't think they do. I think Fundora, he's a giant, 6'7", but he fights like a shorter fighter. Fundora, you know, and I saw that against Erickson Lubin. He doesn't, you know, use his range. I think that's his problem, and you know, I think Jermell will take him out of there. Honestly speaking, I think he will take him out of there. So he could stay. He could stay in the division. If I was him, probably stay for a couple of fights. You know, build up some defense of your undisputed titles and maybe move up. Or you can move up now. He's cleaned up the division, so he can move up. But no, I give huge props to Jermell Charlo, because one, he lost on the way to becoming undisputed. This is the problem, because a lot of fighters who do lose end up just becoming inactive. You just they're nowhere to be seen. You know, Lomachenko, obviously, not going to say much about him, because one, you know, he's doing what he needs to do in Ukraine, so can't really say much about him. But the likes of Teofimo Lopez, you know, you haven't heard from him since his loss against Cambosis. Andy Ruiz did the exact same. You know, I think he's fought once since fighting AJ. Who else is there? Yeah, there are just some fighters who just don't fight frequently after they lose. So, you know, huge credit to Jermell for losing and actually be going ahead and becoming undisputed. Just shows you, you know, boxing, you know, losing is part of boxing. You know, you lose some and you win some. So the question now is, do you put him in the pound for pound rankings? Does he belong there now? Would you put him there? I think you have to. I think you would have to put him there. I really do. What are you gonna do? You have to put him there. He's won all the belts, regardless of what you think. You have to put him there. He has to be in the top 10, pound for pound, 100%, definitely. He's clean the division. You know, I don't know where I put him in the pound for pounds, but I do think he does belong in the top 10 now. You know, so big props to him. And yeah, if I was him, I would probably stick it out maybe for a couple of fights and then move up. Because Jermell Charlo, his brother, is in that division, so you know it's going to become quite political at the minute. I don't think he's in any rush to move up. I don't think there's a particular competition right now that's going to be like, oh, this is a 50-50 fight for Jermell. So I would probably stick around 154 for a little bit longer before attempting to move up to 160. Yeah, I'll probably stick it out for a little bit longer because there's not difficult competition out there for him right now that I would say, oh, I don't know whether he would lose against this individual. I think apart from Fundora, who's 6'7", but again, I think he gets him out of there. And you've got Tim Tszyu. I don't think he troubles him. Yeah, I would probably stick it out for a little bit longer and then possibly move up when his brother moves up. So if Jermell Charlo, who's his brother, currently fighting at 160, if he moves up to 168, which I think he will, to face the likes of Canelo, depending upon whether Canelo moves back down to 168, which would probably give room for Jermell Charlo to go to 160, then that would make sense. But yeah, what do you guys think anyway? Should he move up? Should he stay? What do you guys think? Anyway, Box Redeem, thank you for watching our video and we will be back. Boom!